Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. Kau halalima Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakodash. Okay. All praises, honor, glory, and blessings and power be unto Abanoah Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and a hearty shalom to the elders, and I'm not going to forget a hearty shalom to the prophets of that body, okay, that are part of the spiritual infrastructure of the men of the Lord, okay, if I may use that term, infrastructure, okay, but shalom to the prophets, and shalom to the 144,000 and greater multitude, which is the 1/3. 144,000 are Israelite men, 12,000 out of each royal tribe, okay, and the 1/3 are other men, women, children, elders, okay, that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yeshai has chosen to be beamed into the chariots on that great, beautiful day when His Majesty will return, okay, and we look forward to that. As I'm saying it, my hairs on my head are standing up. Boy, I can feel electricity passing in my body. And as they say, I believe there's a scripture in the Holy Bible which says, I think when your hairs stand up or whatever, it's like an angel or a spirit passing by. And obviously, we can differentiate between the righteous spirits and the unrighteous spirits, right? Okay. Nevertheless, I don't want to digress. Try and stay on the path for this specific video. Okay. To everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, and a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. We are seeing everything that was of this world being plucked up. Okay. Those of you that can compare your upbringing, your childhood, your teenage years, your young man years, okay, your partying years, you're coming up, whether you got married or not, or divorced like myself, right? From a ninja woman in a different package, of course, right? Having children, you can see the things that we grew up on, okay, everything that made the world normal at that time, that we associated the world of yesteryear. Okay, the Lord is destroying everything, man. The Lord is destroying Esau, the so-called white man's kingdom. The Lord is, destroying all the landscapes, the towns, the cities, the spirit of the so-called white man, the heathens, even the 2/3. Okay, the Lord is destroying the money, the financial infrastructure, and the Lord is also destroying your entertainment. Okay. Now, we are the salt of the earth, we Israelites. We make this world tick in the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai. Even in this wicked world, all right? We've invented everything. You name it, we invented it. Whether it's peanut butter, lemonade, the cars, all the music genres, all the fashions, whether the haircuts are wicked or not wicked, We invented them. Um, uh, you know, every intricate thing, man. Traffic lights, heart transplants, building structures. You know, hip talk, the King's English, as they say, the correct English, the way of speaking English. We Israelites invented that. Hence the reason why they use who? James Earl Jones, who is the most majestic speaker. And by the way, he's passed on also to narrate the King James Version Bible. All right. It's funny that they're using King James and James Earl Jones. Hey, man, you never know, man. Maybe James Earl Jones was King James in a past life, because King James was light skinned, wasn't he? I don't know. Just digressing there. Right? Only the Lord Yahweh Shai knows. Okay? You name it, we invented it. Okay? The so called white man just put his face on it. Right? And even these popular shows, okay? Everything that we grew up on. I love the Cosby Show. I'm not going to bullshit you. Okay? I still like watching it. Okay? It's very entertaining. It's got some stupid things in it, like about, women having equality and all that shit. Nothing wrong with, treating a woman right. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, they show the man like bowing down to the woman and cooking for his woman. Nothing wrong with cooking for your woman now and again. You know what I mean? It's like, but she should be doing as I say, using her feminine energy and, being attentive more towards her husband. All right. Doesn't mean you beat down a woman. All right. I'm not saying anything like that. And if you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about that too much, but everything that we grew up on is being taken away, because this is the end of this world. All right, you're entertainers. Okay, Malcolm Jamal Warner. I didn't know the brother was so young. He was 54. I said, damn, he was young, man. I said, what? The Cosby Show come out in the 80s. All right, but he was young. Now there's all sorts of information coming out that they talk about the left-hand side doing this, then the third, and the blood sacrifices and all that. Nevertheless, life and death, okay, Yahweh Shai controls, okay, and we are seeing a whole bunch of people dying back to back, and I'm talking about worldly famous people, and then also YouTube famous people. There's a couple of pranksters or YouTube channels, Jake channels, of course, of certain elders, that I found funny. At least two of those channels of those elders they've passed on too. One of them just passed last month. Okay, if you're familiar with the show, if the channel Junior Chronicles, um, if you're familiar with Chris and Pops, okay, very entertaining, very funny, very hilariously funny. Okay, they've passed on. We are seeing all these people that are worldly famous that we grew up on, as well as YouTube famous, the Lord Yahweh Shai Shai. I mean, if you look at it this way, he's having mercy upon them and taking them out because of the greater hells that are coming upon this earth. And also at the same time, dismantling everything, man. Every part of the infrastructure of this evil world, and also your entertainment, okay? And also your entertainment, okay? And I've got a bunch of people. Where's that list I had, man? Here we go. I just typed in who died in July 2025, just July 2025 alone. And we've got like Ozzy Osbourne. He's a Brummie from Birmingham, Northern England. I don't know. His wife is an Amalekite, right? He's probably just an Edomite anyway. I don't see no talent in his music or whatever. I don't know. And the Lord knows, but I don't think he's a Jake, right? But nevertheless, all these people, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai is taken out. And this is just what we can see. Look at the list of people. I don't know half who these are so-called famous people. Alex DeVecchio, Canadian hockey. Brian Clark, British artist. Okay. Known for his work with stained glass, World Without End. Brian Fagan, British archaeologist. Jimmy Swaggart. I've heard that name mentioned many times, but I don't know who the hell that is still. American televangelist. defrocked after a sex scandal, dies at 90. Right? That devil had a long life. Robert Alvarez, who else was? Julian McMahon, Australian actor. All right, look at all the people here, man. Peter Rufai, Nigerian soccer goalkeeper. Carla Maxwell, American dancer, choreographer, and artist director. All right, and then we got Ozzy Osbourne as well. All right, and you know Ozzy Osbourne, that show, The Osbournes. I think that started in 2005. And I watched it a bit here and there, kind of entertaining. Also, part just showed a disrespectful Edomite family and the Edomite children that are, damn monkeys, the cave people, the way they behave in their foul ways. That's all it portrayed. But, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yeshai is just taking every body out, and Lord's going to take out even more people, man. You're going to see more famous people. I wouldn't be surprised if you heard about Eddie Murphy or some other people, man, that go. Maybe some, but then again, some of these people are going to be kept right down and to the bitter end, where they're going to taste death with those missiles. All right, they're going to taste death with those missiles. All right. So what I'm trying to say is that, if the Spirit is on you and you are watching the videos, okay, and the Lord Yahweh Shem Yeshai is calling you, and you can feel that pull, but you are neglecting it, okay, that's going to be towards your demise, okay? So it's of urgency, okay? Famous people, they signed their death warrant anyway, you know what I mean? So if the Lord's going to pull them out, the Lord's going to pull them out. But for us, hopeful elect, we're going to pray without ceasing, okay? We're going to call upon the real name of Yahweh Shem Yeshai. Because pursuant to Acts 4 and 12, there's only one name under heaven that we must be saved, right? Okay? Where's the scripture? Isaiah 55 and 6. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh Shem Yeshai while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Okay? And the way you seek the Lord is you watch the men of the Lord. Because Yahweh Shem Yeshai has sent his men, the men of Great Millstone, okay, our apostles on down, right, to teach. And they are still teaching. Videos are coming out back to back. Okay, videos are coming out in different languages. All right, videos are coming out in Spanish, English, of course English. What else? Dutch, German, Italian, Sicilian. All right, because Italian and Sicilian are two different types of languages, from what I've heard, because I work with a Sicilian Jake, and also a lot of these videos are translated into Chinese and other languages, and also there's Jakes in East Asia as well, like China and Japan, that are teaching. All right, and a part of Great Millstone. Great Millstone is worldwide. Okay, so, and you can't say that you have not seen the Israelite videos, but then again, I have spoken to a Jake the other day, and I mentioned the Israelites to him, just passing by. I don't want to dive in too deep, and he said he had no clue. He had no clue. He had no clue about it. So sometimes it's right there in your face, but you disregard it because you just think it's a bunch of crazy ninjas on the street talking like a NOI or FOI or whatever. Is it Nation of Islam? Yeah, right? That Farrakhan bullshit. That's what people think. But they don't realize that these men are special men, calling upon you. But only the Lord Yahweh Shem Yeshai can choose you. Pursuant to John 15:16, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. But for you, hopeful elect, that are sincere, that find peace and comfort in Yahweh Shem Yeshai, and calling upon him, and praying, and reading the scriptures, and listening to the men of the Lord. Okay? This may be your ticket out of this hell. Okay? But you're going to be tried and tested. You're being tried and tested now. You're going to be tried and tested to build yourself, to get built up. Someone who's just like lifting weights is not going to go under a bar of 225-pound barbell. You're not going to do that. You're not going to bench 225 straight away. You never lifted. Your arms are like 12 inches, right? And You've got no structure to your physique, and you want to bench. You're not going to do that, right? So you have to go to um, to the men of the Lord to learn. Okay, so you can be built up also, and also at the same time, what I'm trying to say is that you can't go under a 225-pound barbell to bench, right, or curl 60-pound and do or do 100-pound bicep curls, right, straight away. Okay, so the same way you can't do that. Jumping straight into Jacob's trouble, pursuant to Jeremiah 30 verse 7, is going to be a heck of a shock for the unelect out there. The heathens are going to get it. Don't get it twisted. But the unelect, the 2/3, they're going to get it too. And rightfully so, because they're getting in the way. All right? They're like a bump in the road towards a kingdom. They need to be eliminated. Right? And so you Jakes out there are being built up through trial and tribulation. And you have in your mind, okay, I'm going through this. The Lord got me through this. The Lord got me through that. The Lord's getting me through this. The Lord's getting me through the day. Brakti Habashim Hashai. And then I always say that, you know what I say to myself? I say to myself, if the Lord Yahweh Hashem Hashai got me through these small things that was worrying the shit out of me, how much more when these big things happen? And I always say to myself, we've got bigger fish to fry. We're not going to worry about this. The Lord Yahweh Hashem Hashai is building me up, building up other brothers out there for what's to come. So build up your faith as well. To build up your faith. So Isaiah 55 and 6, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. All right? Matthew 4:17. From that time Yahushua began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All right? And this ain't 2,000 years ago, or a little over 2,000 years ago. We're in 2025, bruv. We are approaching 2026. Lord willing, we go home this year, but however the Lord does it, the Lord will do it. But time is soon. You don't have to. The greatest thing is that you need to know in your head is that this is the last incarnation in being born in a heathen rulership where crackers or heathens or which any kind of nation is ruling over you. Okay? And if you die on this side, okay, right, when you are born again, right, any Israelite, you will be in the kingdom. You won't be born and you'll be like, and these crackers, crackers are still ruling or whatever, or some other heathen nation, or Gooks are ruling, Moab or Ammon. No. All right? We will be in our kingdom. So, literally, the kingdom is definitely at hand. All right? Okay? It's definitely at hand. Okay? And for other people out there that have said, because, paraphrasing scripture, the fool hath said there is no God. Well, they're going to find out there is a power, because they're going to see some miraculous things happen, and Yahweh Hashem Hashai is going to unleash those demons on these people that are unbelievers, and then they're going to start saying, "Oh God, please help me." When they see those, demons and things like that manifest, especially the so-called white man, because this is their heaven. They're in comfort, and they love watching horror movies, man, tucked up in their yard, sitting on their recliner or their lazy boy with a blanket and a hot chocolate, twiddling their toes and shit, with their house robe on and that, fireplace crackling away, wintertime, house locked down, children sleeping, sitting in their basement, just all cozy and shit, watching, I don't know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre or some shit like that, They feel safe. Oh, jump behind the couch. Oh, I'm scared. Because this is their heaven. They like scary shit. You know why? That's why they like to jump out of, windows and, not window, yeah. That's why they like to jump out of planes and abseiling and bungee jumping, because this is their kingdom. They don't have fear like that. They don't go through fear and tribulation like that. This is their heaven. So to feel that adrenaline rush And that fear, they do these things. But Jake goes through fear every day. You wake up, you're in fear. You know what I mean, right? But the elect don't have that fear because we got the name of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. We have confidence in the Lord, right? But other people out there, Jake, you know, uh, for the most part, you still be wary because we're in hell. But we pray in Yahweh Bashim Yashai, so we feel that force field around us when we go out and about in the world, when we wake up, when we're working out, whatever. All right. But 2/3 Jakes, they always go through that pressure daily. We all go through that pressure daily. 2/3 go through it, but they don't have that comfort of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. The elect go through it, but we have the comfort of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. Okay? So, man, the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. And a lot of you think that, I'm going to try and, um, bypass death. I'm gonna try and get away, like Final Destination or whatever. The Lord's gonna catch you, man. The Lord might have a little fun with you, put it in your mind, give you some kind of premonition. Oh yeah, if I don't get in the aeroplane or plane's gonna crash, I'm gonna get out of it, or I'm not gonna get on that fairground or the amusement park ride, that roller coaster. It might, it's gonna go off the rails. The Lord might give you a premonition. All right, just have a little fun with you. See if you can try and escape death. But in the end, the Lord's gonna get you, man. Okay, the Lord likes to have fun too, man. This is entertainment for Yahweh Bashim Hashai. All right, you can't escape death. All right, you can't escape death. I kill and make alive, King James Version. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. See now that I, even I am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. All right? You can't, if you're going to go, you're going to go. Now it's a barakim if you're an elderly Jake in your 80s or 90s and you go away in your sleep. That's a blessing. You lived a full life. The Lord had mercy on you and you're passing away now. Right? But then there's some people out there that, drown like Malcolm Jamal Warner or go away, get deleted in some horrible ways. And that's because, the Lord, may I say, I don't know, the Lord had it in for you, um, and some people go out in some gruesome ways. Some Israelites go out in some gruesome ways because the Lord had it in for you, okay? When the Lord lets you live a long life, the Lord is merciful. I don't care about the heathen. We're talking about Jake here right now, all right? The heathen, people like Ozzy Osbourne, all these crackers that are dying right now, all these because listen, we're losing our entertainers that we grew up on, that made this world our world, the so-called 20th century, going a little bit into the 21st, yeah? All right? We had our entertainment, the Jenny Jones, the Ricky Lakes. We had that in the UK too. Oprah, I'd come home from school watching Oprah. My mom would be watching it, giving us tea and cookies and stuff. You know what I mean? Saturday morning cartoons, your Cosby shows once or twice a week could come on in the evening around about 6 p.m. Get your dinner plate, get in front of the TV if you're allowed to sit there, if your mom will allow you to watch it, And for the crackers, then they had their weirdo Ozzy Osbournes and all these other weird Edomites that they'd watch. So the Lord is dismantling Edomite entertainment. The Lord is dismantling Israelite entertainment, Edomite entertainment, and heathen entertainment. When I say heathen, I'm talking about the other heathen nations. Okay? So this Edomite world is being dismantled. All right? And these 2/3 Jakes that sold out. All right? I don't know what Malcolm did. Listen, man, you can't be part of a successful show like the Cosby Show and not be involved in that world, man. All right? Nevertheless, I think I've talked long enough. Salakia, when I digress here and there, my mind wanders in a million directions because it's excitement and you're pissed off at the same time that we're still here. This is also excitement that things are happening, man. This is just, this basically just shows that this world is on its way out, man. So, And it's also a warning as well, for you Jakes out there, even though we got very short time, but you 2/3 don't know. You still want to be an actor, you want to be a rapper, you want to be a musician, you want to be, whatever, right? You want to be a YouTuber, even being a YouTuber, successful YouTuber with millions of subscribers. You got to be doing them rituals. All right, it don't happen like that. You got to have a sugar daddy, some cracker funding you, or some heathen funding you. It's all that you want to do all that. It's a warning to you as well. All right, but a lot of our people are not going to listen. That's why 2/3 are going to die, pursuant to the book of Zechariah 13, 13 and 8 and 13 and 9. Two-thirds are going to be cut off, and one part's going to make it through. Right? But for the rest of us that have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yashai, this is an eye opener, a warning, and it also you hold tighter to the truth more than ever, and you feel pleased in the spirit that you have been chosen to have the blessed name of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, to call upon it, to meditate upon it, because it's a huge, huge, huge comfort, man. All right. So call upon the Lord while He is near, man. All right. What is this? Thursday, the 24th of July. We're approaching August. Let's see what the Lord does in the next couple of months. Anyway, all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Bashem Makar Kodash, Mawatha Babal, Kwame Shalom.